So where are we going?
To play with some neighbors.
For a whole day?
Well, they've got lots to do over there.
And you're going to play too?
Sure, we'll all be kids today. Come on, guys, they're expecting us.
You have a play date with your friends at Disneyland, because now all Southern California residents get in for the kids' price, but only for a limited time.
They're here!
There's no better time to come to the happiest place on earth.
Is that your house?
How'd you guys like that intro? I thought that I'd do something a little bit more different for this video, since we're going to be talking about something that I and a lot of people love and appreciate, and that's Disney. And well, we're going back to the 90s with this story, and to be honest, I kind of wanted to do videos where I talked about one topic, so I didn't feel like I was kind of stretching myself thin, trying to do 3 or however many. Not that I'm saying that format's gonna stop, but I wanted to do something that was a little bit more digestible and something that's, like I said, I could spend a little bit more time on. And yeah, so today we're gonna be talking about Disneyland 1999. So this is less of how do I put it? This is less of one of those videos where I try to break it down and whatever. Instead, I'm gonna be looking into the story and kind of the picture that is associated with the story. So I won't take up more of your time with this. Enjoy. When it comes to creepypastas, one of the most intriguing aspects of them is the associated media. Whether it be a picture, a video, or even a game. Not only do they give the story credibility, it enhances the immersion of the story by a large amount. A few examples of creepypastas with media attached to them are that of smiledog.jpg, Slenderman, and even most infamously, Jeff the Killer. All of these stories share the attribute of having media attached to them. Some go even further and have videos associated with them. Going back to Slenderman, the series of Marble Hornets shed light into Slenderman in more of a video media. Stories like Red Mist had the associated lost episode, and the Wyoming incident had the TV hijacking. But regardless of the format, the core of it all goes back to the story. Without the story, the picture or video may be creepy, but without the background knowledge to it, it would just be another drop in the vast ocean of internet horror. Oftentimes, the pictures or videos associated with these stories are seldom ever original, Jeff the Killer being a good example. The hunt for the original unedited version of the infamous picture is still on to this day, with a bounty being put on the picture itself. The associated Jeff picture being around since 2005, well before it was ever used in the author's creepypastas. A personal favorite creepypasta of mine, The Grifter, used most of the pictures seen in the story from a Czech horror film from 2000 called Little Otek. Had it not been for the pull these pictures had being associated with the story, I may have never been introduced to the surreal side of foreign horror movies. Though some may argue it's lazy to use a pre-existing media in a story, I think it's a good way of getting more eyes on the story and the pictures themselves. But aside from popular stories, what could be lying around in the huge library of creepypastas and their attached medias? Stories with obscure pictures attached to them, and even videos. What's the origin that lies behind these pieces of media? Today I'm hoping to shed light on one of those stories and its associated picture. Today I present to you Disneyland 1999, a story that hasn't had much research or in-depth analysis done on its picture, but today I'm going to present to you what I got and what I learned. Most people assume that this story is fake, or some might just take it at face value, but today I'm going to put forth some stuff that I found that hopefully, for better or for worse, settles this pretty much non-existent argument. In 1999, my family visited Disneyland. We happily rode the Small World ride. I was 12 at the time and my sister was 6. We loved every moment, and our parents smiled with nostalgia. At one time near the end, some lights suddenly shut off, and rear lights illuminated the ceiling. The moving display parts shut off, and crew members wearing red overalls walked along them to help passengers in the boats onto the stage to direct them out of the building via emergency exits. A voice came over the loudspeaker. "Disneyland thanks you for your visit. Please evacuate the attraction in an orderly fashion. Keep looking forward and follow the directions of the staff. Thank you." The staff wouldn't tell us much as they quickly ushered us out of the building. Ambulances were outside and police cars were parked in the main walkway. At the time, my mother still had her camera and snapped a few photos of the crewmen and close-ups of the mechanical children. She snapped a last-minute photo of whatever to use up the last roll of the film on the camera, since we were going to develop them later this afternoon. This was the last photo of the reel, aimed at the ceiling of the attraction. This was one of the first creepypastas I remember reading back in middle school. I didn't understand it much at first. I thought it was an animatronic or a ghost that had risen to life and was just looking over the ride. But as I got older and I got more context for the story, it got a bit darker. Apparently the picture shows either a child or staff member that had taken their own life via hanging. In my research for the picture, I couldn't find anything definitive. There was nothing proving that the picture was real, and there was nothing disproving the picture. Obviously, the picture isn't necessarily real, because we'd hear about it, but again, there was nothing disproving it. In my research for any incidents that could have happened in Disneyland in 1999, I didn't find anything, none that were fatal, thankfully. Although, on the other side of the country, in Disney World, one of the Disney parks located in Florida, unfortunately there was a death that happened in 1999, where a custodial worker, Richard Barlow, was accidentally swept off of one of the cable car rides when another employee had turned on the ride for the morning, not knowing that Richard was on it. He held on for as long as he could before he fell to his death 40 feet above the ground. His death was ruled an accident. Though deaths aren't an uncommon thing to happen at the happiest place in the world, it is possible that one of the deaths could have been swept under the rug, but it's completely unlikely. I was in the belief that it was some sort of malfunction or misplaced set piece. Since I've never been to Disneyland, I couldn't personally pinpoint where this picture could have been taken. But there was images of the ride that I looked into that did have some of the puppets or animatronics up at a higher part of the ride. This could have just been some sort of machine mishap, or maybe it was something a little bit more mundane. I put the picture through some sort of reverse image search, and the farthest it would go back was 2013, which would match up around the time that the story was published and gaining traction. But unfortunately, there is no real author behind the story. I could never really find who the author was. It was always just author unknown. And presumably, their picture that they used in this one was in their possession. And since there is no author behind the story, there was really no way to contact to confirm. But I actually found the source of the image, and it's a little bit more mundane than most people would have expected. Well, it turns out that this actually isn't even a picture. It's actually a frame from Theme Park Review's video of a rip-off Small World ride at a place in China called Joyland. And as you can see here in this frame, this is the exact frame that was used for the picture of the creepypasta. No, this wasn't somebody that hung themselves. It wasn't even taken in the 90s. This video was published in 2011. So, what did we learn today? I learned that apparently this picture obviously was fake, but I got to the bottom of it, and I'm surprised nobody actually has. There isn't like an actual debunking video for this picture, which is odd to me because it's one of the more popular images. I mean, they use it on all types of creepy Disney lists or whatever, and yeah, I mean, like, nobody's done anything, so I guess I was the first one to step up to the bat, as far as I know. But yeah, it was crazy. After about a few minutes of research, I figured out what it was, and I was kind of amazed. I was kind of, you know, it's kind of like that one thing from The Wolf of Wall Street where he's like pointing at the TV. And,
Here I come. Oh, here.
yeah, I found it. But yeah, apparently this was in a Chinese amusement park called Joyland, and apparently it's inspired by World of Warcraft and StarCraft, but how they got a small world out of that, I'll never know. And shocker, it's not endorsed by Activision or Blizzard. So yeah, there you go. That's the origin of the picture that they used in Disneyland 1999. So if you've ever been wondering that, or said, hey man, what happened to that picture, well, now you know. So yeah, just tell me what you guys think of the new format of the video. Is it fun? Is it interesting? Should I try to look into more of these pictures or whatnot? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun looking at this Disney stuff. I've never been to Disney, so it was fun to see. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Oh boy, my favorite seat. Uh-oh, excuse me, do you mind?